Alright, welcome back to your first Chrono Trigger speedrun. We left off last time by killing Yakra and exposing Yakra as trying to be the Chancellor and stealing the Queen. So we saved the Queen, Frog ran away, and now we're just going to get Marley back. And we'll be on our way. Again, using turbo here. But you can always mash if you want as well. Alright, so when you leave the castle, you have to be real careful to not bump into Frog, and I'm going to show you why. So as you come out here, you want to like slide this way or this way to avoid even touching Frog. Because here's what happens if you touch him at all. You get this like extra dialogue. Where Frog's really depressed. And then Luca doesn't help the situation any. Because then she just walks up and says, he was a good froggy. We frogs aren't so bad after all. Alright, anyways, lots of time lost in that. So yeah, avoid Frog on the way out. That's key to the speedrun for a couple seconds. Alright, we're gonna race through here, but just a reminder, we're going down here, we're kind of rubbing up here, we're rubbing down here, and then we're kind of rubbing around this tree, back down and out. Alright, we're just going right back to the portal. And in SNES, there's something called reverse bird skip. We don't have that on PC. So you're gonna escape. Now, if auto battle is on, you're gonna hit this guy while you're escaping, and he's gonna counterattack. So we like to, there's gonna be certain cases in the run where you're holding LB and RB to escape, and you maybe have to turn auto battle off. If auto battle is on, it does speed up the run meter, but it also will cause counterattacks, which will cause delays. And so that's one of the cases here for that fight, where it's faster to escape, take auto battle off. Once you see them start to make a move, you can put it back on to speed it up. But at least at that point, there's not going to be a counter, and you'll escape before you would have done an action. So, all right, we're going to head out, and there's a bunch of dialogue here. There'll be dialogue on the other side of the portal as well. But you'll end up with Chrono and Marley alone as Luca goes off to do whatever invention things she needs to do. Alright, we're back in our own time. And we're gonna take Marley back to her home in the castle, because now we know she's the princess, of course. And you think, if you were playing this for the first time, we all know, right? If you're speedrunning this, you know what's gonna happen. But I still like to joke that we're going to get our heroes welcome. We saved the princess. We're gonna go get our heroes welcome. Alright, so say this is the fastest way through the forest. Going to be very similar skips here. Let's see where. Okay, you can walk fully left here, it doesn't matter. So it's really just, it looks like on this one it's not going down, because you'll get that encounter, I assume. But yeah, kind of just tend to keep it tight around the bushes here. There's a bird here that if he sees you, if you trigger it, it'll, believe it triggers an encounter. Is it like, yeah, so like in the middle here. So stay away from the middle here. Just go around the bush instead. Yeah, if you go around this bush, like the bird will just ignore you. It's totally fine. And then similar to the other one, we're just going right up through here. and avoiding that encounter as well. All right, a lot of dialogue here. We're going right into the trial. But I can talk about the trial while we do this. So if you don't know, the trial is all based on, the jurors in the trial are all based on things you can do in the fair, Millennial Fair. You notice that early on we talked to Marley before we picked up the pendant, and that guarantees one of the jurors is not guilty. Most of the jurors will always be not guilty as long as you don't do anything in the fair. The second juror is the only weird one, and that is because that is the juror from if you got the little girl's cat back or not. So how that one works is if you talk to the little girl and you get her cat back, it's not guilty. If you talk to the little girl and you don't get her cat back, then it's guilty. If you don't talk to the girl at all, then it's a flip of the coin and it becomes an RNG situation. So that's the only one that potentially won't be not guilty on this run. Also, I should talk about how on Super Nintendo, the speedrun, you want to be guilty because it has less dialogue to get through. On PC, we don't care about the dialogue because it's like just about instant text pretty much. So a couple extra dialogue boxes isn't a big deal. But it takes slightly more frames for jurors to walk to the left side than it does to the right side. And so that's why we want not guilty. And it's just frames. It's barely any time, but it's frames. So yeah, so there's juror number 2 is guilty this time. That's fully RNG. Later on when we do RNG manip, that can be part of the seed, but the seed that we use is still guilty for the second juror. So yeah, all the rest of these guys will be not guilty, which is the ideal case. All right, of course, Chrono's still going to jail, not guilty or not. You know how this game works. And we're going to be put in a cell. If you didn't know, if you wait in that cell for long enough, Luca eventually comes and saves you. But, we're on a speed run. We're not going to wait around on the speed run. So we're going to take matters into our own hands. All right. So when Chrono wakes up, he kind of wiggles his head, and that's when you know you can finally move. You just want to hold right and up, and then just, drink the HP and be restored. If you touch the little bag here of stuff, you'll get some extra items, but it's time lost because then there's extra dialogue that's triggered and stuff like that. So we're going to go right here. We're going to hold down, and then we're going to hold turbo, or just mash A or B or whatever is your confirm. And then 3 times, and then the guard will come in, bash you on the head, and then we'll get him back. And then we're going to cyclone. All the guards that we kill, we're going to cyclone because it's a 1-hit. So auto battle off, cyclone, auto battle on. And then auto battle to end. Yeah, so that's that. All right, we're right into shield skips. All right, if you didn't know, you can totally skip these guys, but there's a certain pixel you have to land on here. The notes are pretty good about showing you, like, I think here, right? Do they show you where the shield skips are? Well, maybe not. Maybe the notes don't show you where the shield skips are. But yeah, there's a certain pixel here, and PC is very forgiving. Because Chrono has a smaller hitbox, a lot of these skips are a lot easier. So yeah, you can just like walk in between these two if you're on the right pixel. I like to like run up here and then stop and hit walk and then try to position myself. Now if you're just slightly off like this, you're gonna hit the encounter, right? If you do hit the encounter, if you don't know this, you want to hit the ones that you want to wait till they show themselves before you hit them. But yeah, that's shield skips. We'll have another one of those coming up as well. But yeah, we're going up and right. We're gonna hit 2 more guards here, and there's if you're using turbo, this becomes a little easier, but because you don't want to get hit by the guards, and so you're gonna cyclone 1 auto battle, and you're gonna cyclone to the second one before they get to you. This is key with Battle Speed 3. If you have Battle Speed 4 or 5, you might not be able to hit the second one before he hits you. It's not the end of the world if he hits you. It's just the ideal case. So auto battle off. I'm gonna. Oh, I forgot I was on attack. Like I said, it's not the end of the world if he hits you. Actually, I can reset the screen, right? Let's just reset the screen. So that's a common mistake on any run, is where you're like, oh, I'm on tech, I can just turbo right into this, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm not on tech. Also, if you reset the game, you are also not on auto battle by default, so that'll kill you. Because if you get the habit of turning auto battle off at the beginning of every fight, when you have to reset the game and open it up again and auto battle's not on, it's going to turn it on at the beginning, and that's going to really screw the fight up. So fun thing to keep in mind. All right, so we're going to cyclone, we're going to auto battle, wait till he disappears, and then we're going to turbo cyclone so that it's immediately going to kill right there before he gets there, before he hits us. All right, we got the stealth guards here. You do have to walk up here until Chrono looks surprised, and then he backs up. And then there's where is the spot? Let's explore together. Where is the spot where he can stand? How close can he stand? Okay, so yeah, I think it's like right before this pillar here. Autosave is a lovely thing. So yeah, I think it's right before this pillar, the second pillar. So right before the end of the second pillar. So I like, this guy is nice because you can wait till he's pointing the other way, and that's the very safest spot to do it. You can also get it if he's facing down, but you're taking a chance. So, all right, we're going for it. You can also get these guys, and they might have just started facing you, and you still got them in time. But another case for turbo there, it's a little bit nicer. But I mean, you can walk up there and mash too. All right, this little shadow here, I believe, is the spot. I'm curious though. It's been so long. Let's. Can I go closer than the shadow? Ooh, okay, we can go closer than shadow. Okay, so this guy's not as fun because he only looks down and over. So you want him to kind of be looking over and then immediately run when he starts to look down. And then even then, sometimes they'll get you. So if a guard gets you, you don't want to cyclone. So these two are these two are the exception to the rule. If you don't stealth the guards, stealth them, that's totally fine. You just want to auto battle it. It'll take 2 hits. You still should be able to kill them before they hit you. But that way we're saving our MP, because we need 8 MP for Dragon Tank, and we don't want to be messing around with it. And we have one more fight where we have to use another cyclone. So we have 10 right now. We have one more fight. We'll have 8 MP at the end. That's also why Chrono needs to live for Yakra, because otherwise he won't have 16 MP at the beginning of all this. And so he won't end up with 8 MP by the time we're up to Dragon Tank. Okay, this is another shield skip. Again, I run up, walk, and then kind of eyeball it. There's a certain spot here in the middle, and yeah, it'll take some practice to get it, but you'll get it soon enough. All right, this one, we're gonna walk up and there's some guards that are gonna trigger, and it's 2 guards. If you turbo, if for some reason we were on tech, which we're not on tech right now, and you wanted to turbo these guys, you would not get both of them. So you need to kind of give it a beat. Turn auto battle off, give it a beat, and then cyclone. Now, if we're not on tech, like us right now, we're not on tech, that's enough of a beat. Like it's enough of an input to have to hit down to tech and then cyclone. So yeah, check it out. All right, so here they are. And like this, and then they're almost at this point they could hit you right here. So yeah, you just want to be. It's a pretty quick situation there. All right, before we go further, this is a battle speeds change here. We've been on battle speed 3 since the beginning of the game so far, and Dragon Tank is very tight. It's actually a very difficult boss, especially so early in the run. It will take a good amount of practice. But anyways, my point is we want this to be much slower battle speed to make it more doable. So we go to 6. And later we'll go back to 3 because this is like an exception here. We don't do a lot of battle speed 6 fights on this run. All right, we're gonna walk up here, and Luca is gonna come rescue us. But hey, we're already kind of rescuing ourselves. So yeah, so on if you're just beginning, like it totally makes sense to grab some extra mid potions here. You can talk to this guy, obtain a mid potion. This is the guard's body, and then it's like, oh, you get 5 more mid potions. So you can also save here. It's a good spot to save if you want to practice this fight, which I extremely suggest you do. I used to practice this fight like every day because it can be very tight. You can get lucky with some crits and it makes it easier, but if not, it becomes very tight. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna go right into it. Okay, there's some kind of weird glitch here. For this first dialogue, if you turbo while holding left, potentially there's a weird Dragon Tank glitch that can happen and it can soft lock you. So I have a habit of like holding left and then I'm just like mashing until that dialogue, and then here you can turbo the dialogue if you want. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna start the Dragon Tank fight. I should mention, if you don't know, the head is fire and lightning proof, and so we have to hit it with attacks only. And the head also heals. And if you hit the wheel, if you hit the body, yeah, sometimes if you hit the body it doesn't, but most of the time if you hit the wheel or the body, it will heal extra. And so we want to just be hitting the head. So the basic strat here, what does the notes say for this actually? The notes say you need 4 Chrono attacks and 3 Luca attacks, and then a Cyclone to kill Dragon Tank. Some people like to count that out, like 1 and 1, 2 and 2. I just say it's 7 attacks and a Cyclone. So I'm counting up to 7 and then Cyclone. Obviously, it's a little better if that works out where it's Chrono Luca, Cyclone. I think I counted that right. But sometimes it can get out of whack. And then especially the crits. If Chrono crits, it counts as 2, so you count 2 instead of 1. But yeah, it's basically 7 attacks and a Cyclone, but Chrono crits count for 2. Once the head is dead, it's not over. And so we need another Cyclone and another Firewhirl to kill the wheel. And then the wheel will auto counterattack when it dies, or the body counterattacks, I guess. Whoever hits it. So both Luca and Chrono will get very low health for this fight. It is totally safe if you're too slow to get the Cyclone off before it heals to heal up with some potions, and then keep going on the head until you get until you kill it. Like, that's the main thing. Kill the head as fast as you can. But it will do in the meantime, it will be like it's gonna charge at you, and that can do like 50 damage to both Luca and Chrono. And so we want to make sure they're healed up before that happens. So yeah, the way I look at it is the main strat is 7 attacks in a Cyclone. If you miss that before the heal, then you can give it a couple more attacks if you didn't get the Cyclone yet, and then do the Cyclone. But yeah, I don't know. You'll have to like engage it as we go. I'll try to show you exactly how this should go, and then we can do this fight a couple times, and we can kind of go through some options. All right, let's do it. The other thing is, oh, and there's auto battle, so see if we can recover this. That's 1, 2. See, it's already healed extra. 3, and then there's the first drive there. Yep. 4, 5. 6. Oof, and he's gearing up to... He's healing and he's gearing up to do stuff, so I'm gonna potion for safety, maybe? In case he tries to drive towards me. Okay, and he's healing way too much. Yeah, this is actually a really bad example, really bad fight at this point. Okay, so at that point we didn't even do the Cyclone because shit got real. I'm healing up again because the wheel is still active. We still need 2 Cyclones and a Fire Whirl. We're not going to make it before the next charge, I don't think. Yep, okay. So we're gonna heal up before the last one. Gonna get it one more Cyclone. Chrono's gonna get attacked, counterattacked. And then we're gonna try to finish it off. So yeah, finish it off with the Fire Whirl. And there it is. All right, so let's do that again with a more a better case scenario fight. So, but that's an example of where auto battle can really screw things up for you. I didn't take it off fast enough. This case, we reset the game. Auto battle is not on. The other thing I want to point out is that before you hit the head first, and this might sound silly now, but when you get faster at this, you can hit the head before it heals, but you don't want to do that. You want to hit the head after it heals. There's like a little bit of a wait there. All right, there we go. So there's 1, 2. That's fine, 3. This one, we like to hold ATB for Luca here and do the auto to get the auto to make the animation faster. And then we're gonna take her out, and we're not gonna attack her until Chrono's ATB catches up, because they're gonna kind of swap spots because he is faster than her. The way we want it to end up is with him ready to do the Cyclone after the 7 attacks. What did I say we were on? 3? Did I say 3? I forgot. Alright, so... yeah, I think it's 3. So, 4, 5. 6, 7, and I didn't make the heal, so we're gonna go 8, 9. See if, oh, that did it. Okay. Okay, so in this case, Luca's gonna die from the counterattack, but we're just gonna res her up. It's safer. Oh, she didn't die. Oh, she died to that. Okay. It's safer because if that wheel stays up long enough, then it'll crash into both of you and you're both dead. So, all right. So that was a better case scenario. I'd like to show what happens when you get a crit. So let's see if we can. I could manip the crit, but it can happen randomly, and I just want to show like what can happen. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Gonna hold. 4, 5. 6, 7. All right, can we beat the heal this time? Okay, look at that. So that we might get it. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, okay. So we beat the heal that time. Luca can fire. And then Chrono's gonna get the last cyclone. He's gonna take the damage. Oh, and he's still alive. Let's go. There we go. All right, that was a much better fight. Yeah, that's a couple different ways to do the fight. The main thing is the 7 attacks on the cyclone, and it has to be fast enough. That cyclone has to be. It's kind of tight because going from attack to tech, there's a little bit of an input delay there, and so it's just a very deliberate like down in, and then cyclone, and then sometimes you'll input the cyclone and he already had a heal coming and you missed it, and then he'll heal some more because you cycloned, and so it gets annoying after a while. So, but that is the ideal fight on RNG. Still didn't get a crit. I'm just gonna quickly manip a crit since we have this manip here. So this should have 2 chrono crits, which actually is not ideal for the regular fight. But let's see how we can handle it, given what I said about crits counting for 2. Okay, oh, maybe the manip didn't take. I think the manip didn't take. Oh, nope, there's a crit. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Because it's 4, because it crit, I'm gonna go with Luca before Chrono catches up. 5, 6, 7. And now we have Luca next. Instead of Chrono, but that's fine. We'll still get the cyclone off early. In fact, you can make Luca heal Chrono here if you want. Get another cyclone off. There we go. There's the fire whirl, kills the wheel. Luca's got plenty of health for the counterattack. Actually, both of them do. All right, and there it is. So yeah, that's the double crit situation. Like I said, if you get 1 crit, it's usually pretty nice because there's that trade-off of who's gonna get the. What order do you come in on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, is that right? No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Cyclone. So Chrono changes order there with Luca for a bit on the ideal case, so that he can be the next. He could be the 8th one for the Cyclone. But if he crits, it counts for 2, and so then it changes the whole like thought of that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I can explain that any better, but basically it's just that Luca is slower, so you can get an extra hit in with Chrono if you wait for Chrono's ATB before attacking with Luca on her second attack. So that's the main thing there. But then you don't have to wait for that if you get a crit, because you're already ahead on the hits. So. All right, we're gonna move along. We're gonna do guard skip here. I think we can just like fake that. We can show what happens when you don't do this. So if you walk through the middle here, the guards, have a bunch of dialogue, and they're gonna chase you, and then they're gonna crowd you. All this stuff here. All right. So what we want to do instead is what's called guard skip. And so what I'd like to just like tap down a couple. And then over to this guy. Don't hit confirm or anything. You can see like that he has something. If you could talk to him, if you talk to him, you're probably going to trigger him. But then go down, and then you see they don't aggro. And so we'll still come down here, and then it's like, oh no, guards. But then they don't, like there's no extra guards there, and so we just save a little bit of time, a little bit of dialogue. Yeah, it's not too hard. It's pretty easy. So yeah, it's like a couple taps down, then to the right, and then down. A little bit of dialogue here. We're gonna run away into the forest. And at some point you will get control back here, so you gotta. This is where you get. For me, like I'm speedrunning while I'm talking to chat, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta move. So same thing here. You'll come here. You're not doing anything here for a while. Eventually the guards will show up. I like to just hold hold right, because eventually you'll get control of the characters back, and then holding right goes right into the portal. And so that's just another like, hey, I'm talking to chat, but I'm safe. Like I'm not gonna lose time because I'm holding right here. There we go. Now, very important. If you're using turbo, turn toggle turbo off here. You can continue turboing here, but if you're not careful, I'm going to show what happens actually, because I've done this before. If you keep turboing in here, there's some dialogue when we first arrive here. And then if you keep turboing, oops, I went back through the portal. So yeah, don't do that. That's obviously time loss. It's not like a huge deal. It's recoverable. It's just time loss. And the guards aren't even here anymore, so it's just like, oh, okay. I guess we'll go back in the portal then. All right. So what I do, to figure that out, like when to stop turboing. When you first arrive here, there's some dialogues that happen, and then Luca goes up to the door. When she goes up to the door, there's 2 dialogue boxes, and then she'll come back to the party and you have control. So after the 2 dialogue boxes, stop turboing, and then you can leave the dome. All right, welcome to the future. I think that is a good stopping point for Dragon Tank. GG's on getting Dragon Tank. Next video will probably be, maybe we'll do all through the whole future to the end of time. So look for the next video soon.